A single dad CEO took the wrong child and found the right woman. Alexander Sterling rushed into the daycare center, his mind still on the conference call he had just ended. He scanned the room, his eyes landing on a small figure with blonde hair and a blue backpack, the same one Max had been wearing that morning. He approached the child, who was engrossed in a drawing, and knelt down beside him. "Hey, buddy, ready to go home?" Alex asked, ruffling the child's hair. "Nate." The child looked up, and Alex's heart skipped a beat. The eyes staring back at him were not Max's familiar blue ones, but a pair of curious green eyes. He glanced at the name tag on the backpack. Lily Hart. "Oh no," Alex muttered under his breath. He quickly looked around the room, his eyes finally landing on Max, who was playing with a group of friends in the corner. He walked over to his son, feeling a mix of relief and embarrassment. "Max, we need to go," Alex said, his voice gentle but firm. Max looked up, his eyes wide with surprise. "But Dad, I was having fun," he protested. "I know, buddy, but we have to go. I accidentally picked up the wrong kid," Alex explained, his cheeks flushing with embarrassment. As they walked back to the entrance, Alex noticed a woman approaching them, her eyes filled with concern. She was holding Lily's hand, and her gaze was fixed on Alex. "Is everything okay?" she asked, her voice soft but firm. Alex felt a pang of guilt. "I'm so sorry," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "I accidentally picked up your daughter instead of my son. I didn't realize until I saw the name tag on her backpack." The woman's eyes softened, and she smiled gently. "It's okay," she said. "Mistakes happen. I'm Olivia Hart, by the way. You can call me Liv." "Alexander Sterling," Alex replied, extending his hand. "But you can call me Alex." Liv shook his hand, her grip firm but gentle. "Nice to meet you, Alex. And this is Lily," she said, gesturing to her daughter. Lily looked up at Alex, her green eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Hi, Mr. Sterling," she said, her voice soft but confident. "Satan?" Alex smiled, feeling a warmth spread through him. "Hi, Lily. I'm really sorry about the mix-up. I hope you're not too upset." Lily shook her head, her ponytail bouncing gently. "It's okay. I thought you were my dad for a second, but then I remembered he doesn't come to pick me up anymore." Alex's heart ached for the little girl. He could see the sadness in her eyes, the longing for a father who was no longer in her life. He glanced at Liv, who was watching her daughter with a mix of love and pain. "I'm sorry to hear that," Alex said, his voice filled with sincerity, "but I'm glad I got to meet you both. Maybe we can all get together sometime, and I can make it up to you." Liv smiled, her eyes meeting his. "We'd like that," she said. "Lily and I don't have many plans these days, so we're always up for new adventures." Alex felt a spark of excitement. He hadn't expected to meet someone like Liv, someone who understood the challenges of single parenthood and the importance of making the most of every moment. He knew that he wanted to get to know her better, to explore the connection he felt between them. "Night." "Great," he said, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "How about we exchange numbers, and I'll give you a call to set something up?" Liv nodded, her smile widening. "Sounds perfect," she said, pulling out her phone. As they exchanged numbers, Alex felt a sense of anticipation. He knew that this mix-up had led him to someone special, someone who could change everything. And as he looked into Liv's eyes, he knew that he was ready to embrace whatever came next. A few days later, Alex found himself pacing nervously in his living room, his mind racing with thoughts of the upcoming date with Liv. He had suggested they meet at a local park, a place where Max and Lily could play while they got to know each other better. He glanced at his watch, his heart pounding as he realized it was almost time to leave. Max walked into the room, his eyes wide with excitement. "Dad, are we really going to the park with Lily and her mom?" he asked, his voice filled with enthusiasm. Alex smiled, feeling a warmth spread through him. "Yes, buddy, we are. Are you excited?" He said. Max nodded eagerly. "I can't wait to play with Lily again. She's really nice and she likes the same games I do. Alex's heart swelled with love for his son. He knew that Max had been craving more social interaction, and he was grateful for the opportunity to provide that for him. He ruffled Max's hair gently, his voice filled with affection. I'm glad you're excited, buddy. I think it's going to be a great day. As they drove to the park, Alex's mind wandered to Liv. He thought about her kind eyes, her gentle smile, and the way she had handled the mix-up with grace and understanding. He knew that she was someone special, someone who could bring light and joy into his life. When they arrived at the park, Alex spotted Liv and Lily waiting by the entrance. Liv was wearing a casual sundress, her hair pulled back in a loose ponytail. She looked beautiful and relaxed, her eyes lighting up as she saw Alex and Max approach. "Hi, Alex," she said, her voice soft but warm. "It's great to see you again." "Hi, Liv," Alex replied, his voice filled with sincerity. "It's great to see you too." "And hi, Lily. Are you ready to have some fun?" Lily nodded eagerly, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I can't wait to play with Max," she said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Max grinned, his eyes meeting Lily's. "Me too," he said. "Let's go." As the children ran off to play, Alex and Liv walked side by side, their steps slow and measured. Alex could feel the tension in his shoulders easing, the warmth of the sun on his face, and the gentle breeze rustling the leaves above them. He glanced at Liv, his eyes meeting hers. "So, how have you been?" he asked, his voice filled with genuine interest. Liv smiled, her eyes softening. "I've been good, thanks. Just busy with work and taking care of Lily. How about you?" Alex nodded, his voice filled with understanding. "I've been busy too. Work has been demanding, but I'm trying to find a better balance. Max deserves more of my time and attention." Liv's eyes filled with admiration. "Oh, that's really important," she said. "I know how hard it can be to juggle everything, but our kids are worth it." Alex felt a warmth spread through him. He knew that Liv understood the challenges he faced, the struggles he endured as a single parent. He felt a connection to her, a bond that transcended words. "Absolutely," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "And I'm glad we have this opportunity to get to know each other better. I think our kids are going to have a great time together." Liv smiled, her eyes meeting his. "I think so too," she said. "Lily has been talking about Max non-stop since we met you at the daycare. She's really excited to spend more time with him." Alex's heart swelled with love for his son. He knew that Max was eager to make new friends, to explore the world around him. He was grateful for the opportunity to provide that for him, to watch him grow and thrive. As they walked through the park, Alex and Liv talked about their lives, their dreams, and their hopes for the future. They shared stories about their kids, laughed at their antics, and marveled at their resilience. And as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the park, Alex knew that he had found something special, something worth fighting for. He glanced at Liv, his eyes meeting hers. "Liv, I have to be honest with you," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "I haven't felt this way in a long time. I think there's something special between us, something worth exploring." Liv's eyes softened, and she smiled gently. "I feel the same way, Alex," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "I think we have a real connection, something that could grow into something beautiful." Alex's heart swelled with happiness. He knew that he had found someone special, someone who understood him, who accepted him, and who made him want to be a better man. He reached out, taking Liv's hand in his fingers intertwining with hers. "I'd like to see where this goes," he said, his voice filled with determination. "I think we could have something really special together." Liv smiled, her eyes meeting his. "I'd like that too," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "Let's take it one step at a time and see where this journey takes us." As they walked hand in hand, watching their kids play in the distance, Alex knew that he had found something precious, something worth fighting for. And as he looked into Liv's eyes, He knew that he was ready to embrace whatever came next, to explore the possibilities that lay before them, and to build a future together. Over the next few weeks, Alex and Liv spent more time together, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. They went on family outings, explored the city, and shared quiet moments at home. And as they got to know each other better, they realized that they had found something special, something worth fighting for. One evening, as they sat on the couch in Liv's living room, watching their kids play together, Alex turned to Liv, his eyes meeting hers. "Liv, I've been thinking," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "I think it's time for us to take the next step in our relationship. I want to introduce you to my family, to the people who mean the most to me." Liv's eyes widened in surprise, and she smiled gently. "I'd like that, Alex," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "I think it's important for us to get to know each other's families, to build a stronger connection." Alex's heart swelled with happiness. He knew that introducing Liv to his family was a big step, but he was ready to take it. He wanted to share his life with her, to build a future together, and to create lasting memories. A few days later, Alex and Liv, along with Max and Lily, drove to Alex's parents' house for a family dinner. As they pulled up to the house, Alex could feel the tension in his shoulders easing, the warmth of the familiar surroundings washing over him. He glanced at Liv, who was watching the house with a mix of curiosity and nervousness. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice filled with encouragement. Liv nodded, her eyes meeting his. "I'm ready," she said, her voice filled with determination. As they walked up to the front door, Alex's parents greeted them warmly, their eyes filled with love and excitement. They embraced Alex and Max, their faces lighting up with joy, and as they turned to Liv and Lily, their smiles widened, their eyes filled with warmth and acceptance. "Welcome, Liv," Alex's mother said, her voice filled with kindness. "We're so glad to finally meet you. Alex has told us so much about you and Lily." Liv smiled, her eyes meeting Alex's mother's. "Thank you for having us," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. "We're really excited to be here." As they entered the house, Alex could feel the tension in his shoulders easing, the warmth of the familiar surroundings washing over him. He knew that his family would accept Liv and Lily with open arms, that they would welcome them into their lives with love and kindness. Throughout the evening, Alex and Liv shared stories about their lives, their dreams, and their hopes for the future. They laughed at their kids' antics, marveled at their resilience, and celebrated the bond they had formed. And as the night wore on, Alex knew that he had made the right decision, that he had found something special, something worth fighting for. As they drove home that night, Alex and Liv sat in silence, their hands intertwined, their hearts full. They knew that they had taken an important step in their relationship, that they had built a stronger connection, and that they were ready to embrace whatever came next. "Liv, I want you to know how much tonight meant to me," Alex said, his voice filled with sincerity. "Meeting my family, sharing our lives with them, it's a big step for me, and I'm glad we took it together." Liv smiled, her eyes meeting his. "I'm glad too, Alex," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "I think we have something really special, something worth fighting for, and I'm ready to see where this journey takes us." As they drove through the city, the lights of the buildings casting a warm glow over the streets, Alex knew that he had found something precious, something worth fighting for. And as he looked into Liv's eyes, he knew that he was ready to embrace whatever came next, to explore the possibilities that lay before them, and to build a future together. As the weeks turned into months, Alex and Liv's relationship grew stronger, their bond deepening with each passing day. They faced challenges together, supporting each other through the ups and downs of life, and as they navigated the complexities of single parenthood, they realized that they had found something special, something worth fighting for. One evening, as they sat on the couch in Alex's living room, watching their kids play together, Liv turned to Alex, her eyes filled with concern. "Alex, I need to talk to you about something," she said, her voice filled with sincerity. Alex's heart skipped a beat, and he turned to her, his eyes meeting hers. "What is it, Liv?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Liv took a deep breath, her eyes meeting his. "I've been offered a job in another city," she said, her voice filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "It's a great opportunity, something that could really help me advance my career, but it would mean moving away, leaving everything behind." Alex's heart sank, and he felt a pang of fear. He knew that Liv's career was important to her, that she had worked hard to build a successful life for herself and Lily. But the thought of losing her, of losing the connection they had formed, was almost too much to bear. "Liv, I don't want to lose you," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "I know how important your career is to you, and I support you in whatever you decide to do. But I can't imagine my life without you, without Lily. You've both become such an important part of my life, and I don't want to lose that. Liv's eyes filled with tears, and she reached out, taking Alex's hand in hers. "I don't want to lose you either, Alex," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "I've fallen in love with you, with Max, with the life we've built together, and I don't want to give that up." Alex's heart swelled with love for the woman sitting beside him. He knew that he had found something special, something worth fighting for, and he was determined to do whatever it took to keep her in his life. "Liv, I love you too," he said, his voice filled with sincerity, "and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this work. If you need to move for your career, then we'll find a way to make it work. We'll find a way to be together no matter what." Liv's eyes filled with gratitude, and she smiled gently. "Thank you, Alex," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "I appreciate your support more than you know, and I think we can find a way to make this work, to build a future together." As they sat there, their hands intertwined, their hearts full, Alex and Liv knew that they had found something precious, something worth fighting for, and as they looked into each other's eyes, they knew that they were ready to embrace whatever came next, to explore the possibilities that lay before them, and to build a future together. In the end, Liv decided to turn down the job offer and stay in the city with Alex. She knew that her career was important, but she also knew that the life she had built with Alex, with Max and Lily, was something special, something worth fighting for, and she was determined to do whatever it took to make it work. A few months later, Alex and Liv decided to take the next step in their relationship. They moved in together, combining their lives and their families into one cohesive unit. They found a beautiful house in the suburbs, a place where their kids could play and grow, where they could build lasting memories together. As they settled into their new life, Alex and Liv realized that they had found something truly special, something worth fighting for. They faced challenges together, supported each other through the ups and downs of life, and celebrated the bond they had formed. And as they navigated the complexities of single parenthood, they realized that they had found something precious, something worth cherishing. One evening, as they sat on the porch of their new home, watching their kids play in the backyard, Alex turned to Liv, his eyes meeting hers. "Liv, I want you to know how much you mean to me," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "You've brought so much joy and love into my life, into Max's life, and I'm grateful for every moment we've shared together." Liv smiled, her eyes meeting his. "I feel the same way, Alex," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "You've brought so much happiness into my life, into Lily's life, and I'm grateful for every moment we've shared together." As they sat there, their hands intertwined, their hearts full, Alex and Liv knew that they had found something special, something worth fighting for, and as they looked into each other's eyes, they knew that they were ready to embrace whatever came next, to explore the possibilities that lay before them, and to build a future together. Years later, Alex and Liv stood on the porch of their home, watching their kids play in the backyard. Max and Lily were now teenagers, their laughter filling the air as they chased each other around the yard. Alex and Liv smiled, their hearts full as they watched their children grow and thrive. They had faced challenges together, supported each other through the ups and downs of life, and celebrated the bond they had formed. And as they navigated the complexities of parenthood, they realized that they had found something precious, something worth cherishing. Alex turned to Liv, his eyes meeting hers. "Liv, I want you to know how much I love you," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "You've brought so much joy and happiness into my life, into our kids' lives, and I'm grateful for every moment we've shared together." Liv smiled, her eyes meeting his. "I love you too, Alex," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "You've brought so much love and happiness into my life, into our kids' lives, and I'm grateful for every moment we've shared together." As they stood there, their hands intertwined, their hearts full, Alex and Liv knew that they had found something special, something worth fighting for. And as they looked into each other's eyes, they knew that they were ready to embrace whatever came next, to explore the possibilities that lay before them, and to build a future together. And as they watched their kids play in the backyard, their laughter filling the air, Alex and Liv knew that they had found something truly special, something worth cherishing, and they were determined to do whatever it took to make it work, to build a future together, and to create lasting memories that would last a lifetime. Thank you for joining us on this heartwarming journey of love, resilience, and new beginnings. If you enjoyed Single Dad CEO, accidentally picks up the wrong kid from daycare and meets the mother who will change everything, please let us know in the comments below. Your feedback means the world to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories that celebrate the power of love and the strength of the human spirit. Until next time, keep believing in the magic of small acts of kindness and the extraordinary impact they can have on our lives.